What's good, guys? Joni and Joe back with a new kind of video. We are stepping into Yu-Gi-Oh! Legacy of the Duelist Link Evolution. It's a new game that came out on the Nintendo Switch in Japan a few weeks ago. Now, being my first non-Duel Links video, I will say that this does not mean I won't keep up with Duel Links. I'll continue to play and stream as before, bringing any Meta Weekly videos and King of Games videos for Duel Links, but eventually I want to expand the channel to cover a variety of games. I'm not going to commentate the match or the plays, and instead I'm going to talk about the game and my thoughts on it. I'm facing a Twitch viewer that I had in stream who challenged me, and it was a great way for me to step into the game and learn it because I've never played this format before. I stopped when Pendulum Summoning came out. But ironically, as you can see, I'm playing a deck that is popular in Duel Links against another deck that's rising in Duel Links, so ignore any nonsense you see in the background. Like I said, I'm learning, so there's a couple questionable plays I probably could have done better. Link Evolution has been out for quite some time now in Japan, and fortunately I was able to make a Japanese Switch account to download the game. As you can see, the game is in full English, so once you download the game on a Japan account and switch back to your original Switch account, everything will come up in English. While I could go into the details of how to do that, it's pretty simple. All you have to do is Google how to download a Japanese game on your Switch and you can pretty much figure it out. That being said, if you do want to learn how to make it happen, I don't mind helping out. Just mention it in the comments and I'll walk you through it as best as I can. The game itself is just a revamped version of the original Legacy of the Duelist on the consoles, and it comes with a new format in the card game with the extra monster zones and link monsters. I wanted to learn the new format since I stopped playing in the TCG a while ago, and the game didn't disappoint when it came to learning. I went into the tutorial right when I loaded up the game and I learned how to link summon pretty easily. The only thing was I had to take some time to figure out how to apply it to the old decks I played. Six Samurai, as you can see me playing, hasn't changed too drastically, so I was able to play the same way I used to for the most part. Synchrons, on the other hand, that I used to play back when in the TCG, is pretty much unplayable for me at this point. I know I saw some builds using Summon Sorceress as a link monster, but in this game she is banned. Armageddon Knight is limited to 1, so I haven't figured something out with that yet, but that's just an example of how I have to adapt and continue learning this game. Regardless, the campaign in the game eases you into learning from the beginning of the series all the way to the start of Reigns, so you can slowly pick up on how some of the old decks operate along with the newer decks as you move along. Besides the addition of Reigns and the massive update to the format, the game is the exact same as the original. You play campaign, unlock points to spend on packs, and you unlock duelist challenges and deck recipes along the way. Simple enough, there's plenty of duels to get done in the game before you even consider online play. The game also has a very recently updated card list, bringing almost every card from the TCG and OCG up to a few months ago. I haven't kept up with the card game in years, but having the Link Monster Cyber Dragon Seeger and the new Synchro Junk Speeder was just some of the new additions I was excited to see. There's also a somewhat recent ban list that the game has, and I'm not sure when it took place in the card game because I haven't played. Soul Charge, for example, is limited to 1 in this game, but an outside source has told me that Soul Charge is currently banned in the TCG, so you're going to see me use Soul Charge coming up, and you're going to see why it got banned in the TCG. That's one example of the ban list we have. The cool thing about the ban list though is that if you're playing single player modes, it does not restrict you from dueling. So if you want to rush through campaign and unlock all the packs and get as many points as you can easily splash in 3 Pot of Grease, 3 Graceful Charities, and any other nutty cards you can. I haven't played online too often yet. I'm still finishing up the campaign and getting as many points and cards as I can. As you can see, I started off with 6 Samurai, but most recently I do have Cyber Dragons pretty much finished. Different Dimension Demons I'm also going to try to get back into, and if I do figure out a way to play Synchrons, I will definitely bring that to the channel because you already know how I feel about that deck. Eventually, as I learn the game more and more, I'll start playing online and then I'll be able to put full videos up of matches I'm having. The game is still keeping me entertained since there's so many new cards that I'm not used to, and as I'm going to work and coming home, I can play it on my Switch mobile, so that's another For $30 or $35, I think this is a great pickup. Uh, if it was a $65 game, like most games now, I probably would have held off on it, but the game is coming out in America soon, physically, not restricted to digital like in Japan I think it was, but it doesn't hurt just to wait for it to come to America. So wrapping up the end of this duel real quick, I'm gonna talk a little bit about it. I haven't really looked at it, but this is the moment where you'll see why Soul Charge is banned. I haven't really used some of the new Link 4 monsters, but I splashed a whole bunch of like generic extra deck stuff, as you can see, like the Code Talker has been pretty good in most decks, and Silent Honor, Cowboy, and Utopia are like some real old school throwbacks that I haven't used in months. But I'm gonna Soul Charge here and bring back 3 monsters and spend almost all my life points, and also get a Search off Kizaru, which is pretty neat. But I could have gone about this differently. Like I could have like had a board that was playable, but Soul Charge doesn't let you attack on the turn that you use it, so I wanted just to play careful and not like get too crazy. To kill the suspense, I'm just gonna go into Borrow Sword Dragon, which is one of the nuttiest cards I've ever seen in my life. I think part of me was intimidated by the sea monster that he had on board. I don't remember what it is. I can't remember the name of that card, but it has something to fight dragons. So when I went into Borrow Sword, I was like, oh damn, I summoned a dragon, I'm such an idiot. But I do realize that the Sea monster's effects only work if he's the only monster on the field. So luckily I can just pass, and Borrow Sword Dragon's effect can switch monster to the defense position on either player's turn. So I'm pretty much good here. This was a pretty risky comeback for me because I've never actually used Borrow Sword yet. Most of my times playing Six Samurai, I will go into the Code Talker and then summon Shien and then come up with whatever crazy board I can. But Borrow Sword does get me the win here with the 200 life point comeback. Once he goes into his battle phase, I'm just gonna switch his Exceed monster to defense mode, and then next turn I could use Borrow Sword's effect against a double attack and then clear his board, putting us in a good spot. So the new format is pretty fun. I was pretty proud of myself after not having played in so long, except Duel Links of course. I'm pretty proud that I was able to like get the win out of this. So closing out, in due time you will see more Legacy of the Duelist videos. If anyone has a video they want me to do, maybe like showcase how to farm points or how to download the game as I mentioned earlier, I'm more than happy to help. Hopefully after a couple more weeks or so I'll have enough cards and a decent meta deck to take online, and then I'll be streaming it and we can add that to the fun for the channel. As always, like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys next time.